That's what it is. They don't want to see a black nigga win. I start talking about how KJ been to Aubrey Estates and how he going up the elevator and motherfucking how he gotta go. He had a chimney all his life. That's why he believed in Santa. He was able for him to believe in Santa. He like, oh yeah, Santa really is coming down the chimney. You know, we ain't never seen a chimney a day in my life. So I couldn't believe that no nigga was coming down and eating cookies and shit like that, dropping off presents. But you know, KJ been having that chimney shit all 22 years of him living that shit. So it's like, damn. Stop it. Stop it. Nigga walk out his crib, see Bugatti, Lambo trucks. It's crazy. Alright, let's see, you know, let's see what really goes down in the trenches. Something KJ know nothing about. Oh my gosh. Female rapper boyfriend killed at her album release party. Her hood dissed the dad. Come on, bro. What is going on here? This is what goes on in the trenches, KJ. This is what goes on in the trenches. It get dangerous.
I ain't got no filter like a vehicle with no AC. I might run up on your nigga hoe. I'm
See, she will set you up. She will set you up. Y'all better watch out.
I really do. That's like my big love.
There was a video of when it got shot up. Like they was recording while it was getting shot up. Album release party getting shot up is worse luck. No, sir. I don't participate in those things.
I'm sorry, you come in?
1813.
1813.
That's what Chicken want. Chicken said he'll take that down.
We got 3 females in critical and 1 more male that's critical. I'm going to call you guys with information on the victims.
Not me, brother.
Fam, I was doing my research on this Georgia mall shooting that happened in Savannah overnight. But as I fell asleep doing research, I woke up to some news about a mass shooting that happened in Chicago. And I knew more details about this situation.
You said you taking that down for four?
So I pushed that to the second one. And we're going to talk about this one first.
The bar is low,
let's just say
buddy.
out the gate, it seemed like Chicago just don't let up. Today's video, we're breaking down a wild situation that went down in the last 24 hours in downtown Chicago. A local female rapper was throwing her album release party with gunshots
takedowns. The bar
3 people
is
dead,
low.
9 people shot, and over 10 people injured. Now, what makes this even more crazier is just hours before this incident, the hood affiliated with this female rapper had men also from their neighborhood attend this album release party. Let's just say less than 24 hours prior to this situation, they was just seen online dissing another man who lost his life.
You gotta gain your consciousness here, yo. Hit the blunt. Gain your consciousness. You take your shit down for 4 and shit.
Now, some of y'all might remember this female rapper from a story we covered last year. She made headlines after her physical altercation popping off following the release of a diss track aimed at her. That incident left one of her friends allegedly stabbed, and it landed her on house arrest. Fast forward to now, she's back in the news for all the wrong reasons.
Now she getting
what was
shot
supposed
at?
to be a celebration of her new album had turned deadly as her own boyfriend was tragically killed in the middle of all of it. Today we break down what allegedly led up to this. Look at how these situations keep getting out of control. Talk about the dangers of fueling street beef through music and social media. Of course, we also gonna pay our respects to those who lost their life and unpack what really went down. But before we go over this, in the neighborhood on 78th and Essex, a neighborhood that birthed a Chicago well-known rapper that go by the name of Sh0t. Also many more, with artists like Big Op and even a female artist like Mello Buckzz. Last year, Mello Buckzz dropped a track titled Move with over 5 million views and counting that was shot in front of 78th and Essex. 11 months ago, she dropped a track titled BD featuring Sh0t.
See, KJ already knew about that song. Go up.
78th and Essex.
I ain't got no filter like a vehicle with no.
Mello Buckzz been continuing to thrive in her career, and just last week she announced that she's dropping a mixtape titled Hollywood on July 3rd. And the night before the release, July 2nd, 2025, Mello Buckzz went to Instagram and posted that she was hosting a Hollywood at a private location, saying that doors open at 7 p.m. And unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances,
private location and
exactly where this private location was. But before we get to that, while she was promoting her mixtape release party, men affiliated with her neighborhood,
this your type of
man who lost his life just less than 24 hours prior. Allegedly, he went on a drill, and his car got popped. The victim was identified as Drills from 9-5 Mob. It happened early Wednesday morning, the night of the album release party, in the West Pullman neighborhood in Chicago's far south side. He was inside his car when it...
Wait, what? It happened the same time?
The victim was identified as Drills from 9-5 Mob. It happened early Wednesday morning, the night of the album release party.
The morning of the album release party?
South side. He was inside his car when a dark colored vehicle pulled up and someone inside started shooting at the 1200 block of South LaSalle Street. Drills was shot once in the head and was taken to Advocate Christ Medical Center, where he was later pronounced dead. May he rest in peace.
Oh, my shit ain't on there no more.
Police said no arrests had been made, and a gun was recovered from the scene of the shooting, confirming Drills died with his gun on him, allegedly trying to go on a drill.
Good morning. Well, Chicago police investigating after 2 men are shot to death in separate incidents. Now, the attacks happened a few miles apart and around roughly an hour from one another. Now, the first shooting happened near 79th and Lafayette around 11:20 last night. Officers responded to the scene to find a 66-year-old man had been shot in the chest and neck. Investigators say witnesses tell them the man was standing outside when a dark-colored sedan approached and someone inside the vehicle fired shots. The victim died at the hospital. Police tell us this morning he was not the intended target. A little while later, shots rang out near 121st and LaSalle in West Pullman. Officers there responded to a call about a person shot and arrived to find a man in his 20s wounded inside his car. Police say the man was sitting in a car when a dark-colored vehicle drove up and someone inside started shooting. The man was shot in the head and was rushed to the hospital where he later died. Police say they did find a weapon at that scene. Now, police are continuing to investigate both shootings and have not said if they are connected. By the way, no one is in custody and no arrests have been.
Now, shortly after this incident, people went to Instagram associated with 78 Finesses to diss Drills. One person wrote, "Hope your family got money for your funeral, Ruby." One person wrote, "Drills died on a drill." Another person wrote, "They have been getting it fired up." Now, we're going to stop it there. We're not trying to disrespect nobody, but you get the point, fam. But the same day, even though Mello Buckzz had posted private location on her Instagram, the word got out to the wrong person because somebody enemies who went to that party had got the location, which we do. The venue was named Art Is Restaurant and Lounge, located on 311 West Chicago Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. One woman decided to post the location while Mello Buckzz was performing. Not saying that's how the alleged enemies got the location, but check it out.
Oh, this bitch is dumb. This could be real. Shots go.
About 2.5 hours after that video, at around 11 p.m., Chicago police had reported that 4 people was killed and 14 was wounded.
4 people was killed and 14 was wounded? No, that's devious. Them niggas wasn't playing. No, that was crazy. That's devious. 4 people died and 14 people was wounded. I'm never going to an album release party ever in my life.
Right by shooting outside that lounge.
Ever in my fucking life.
Witnesses are located in that area. The witnesses say they heard the rapid fire and a gun racing out of the area. One female witness said it was traumatizing, and I'm just shook. From people screaming to blood on the street to people lying on the street saying, "I can't breathe." Just horrific, more than I ever seen.
Oh my
work at the nightclub told the local news that the club was closing when the shooting happened, so a large group of people were headed outside. Police say a preliminary investigation indicate that a dark-colored car drove past the nightclub minutes after 11 p.m. when an unknown person or multiple people took out one or more guns and opened fire into a crowd of people. Now, one of the people who lost their life was Mello Buckzz' boyfriend. Check out our Instagram
That's OC.
story the following morning.
Not the boyfriend. Not they eating it up on TikTok. Oh man, not in it. Oh no. That's tough. Not the sister and the
that
boyfriend.
overnight mass shooting.
Again, at least 4 people are dead, 14 others are hurt. Let's go straight out to Nate Rogers, who joins us live right outside the club where this happened in River North. Nate?
Anthony, good morning to you and Natalie. I tell you, this was a god-awful tragedy here in River North. A very chaotic scene from what we're hearing from witnesses here at the venue, but also at the hospital. We do know, confirmed by Chicago police, that 18 people were shot, 4 people killed. The victims' ages range from 21 to 31 years old. Take a look at this video, guys, from overnight. Here's what we know. Police tell us a dark-colored vehicle drove past the location. Someone pulled out a gun and started shooting at a large crowd that was standing outside. Many people seen running for cover. Now, at this hour, it is unknown if there were multiple shooters. We do know the sidewalk remains littered with blood, shoes, and clothing. The shooting happened outside Artist Restaurant and Lounge, which recently opened.
And KJ gonna be there in 2 days.
After 11 o'clock last night, we've learned that local artist Mello Buckzz had a listening party at this location prior to this incident. We spoke to street pastor Donovan Price, who was at the scene moments after those gunshots rang out. He also visited multiple hospitals where victims were taken. Here's more from witnesses.
First I've seen, just you know, people wanting to find their other people, find who was alive, finding who was, you know, where their phones were, because they dropped them in the chaos, so they couldn't even call for, couldn't even find their car keys. It's something that you wouldn't expect to find in the city. We have a lot of shootings, but nothing like this.
It's really sad what's going on out here. The community can step up. Obviously, this is not just taking place on the south and west side, but black and brown communities. This is happening all over, including downtown on the north side. It's going to take all of us to save us.
Now, a little bit more about those victims who lost their lives. We know that they are a woman who was shot in the chest, another woman who was shot in the chest as well. We also received word that there were 2 men, ages 24 and 25 years old, who were shot in the chest and head and lost their lives. The Dunkin' Donuts, guys, actually, that you see behind me, it remains closed right now as crews are trying to repair glass that was shattered as a result of the shooting. You can actually see some of the shattered glass on the ground right now. We do know detectives were out here, and they will be back out here canvassing the neighborhood looking for surveillance video, as apparently there are multiple surveillance cameras in this area. The latest from Chicago police is that there are no suspects in custody, but again, 18 people shot overnight, 4 people killed following a listening party here in River North. We do know that their victims remain hospitalized, some in good condition, others in critical condition. Of course, we'll continue to follow the story and keep you updated on air and online in River North. Nate Rogers, Fox 32 Chicago.
Nate, thank you. And Gabriella Primus is live at Northwestern Hospital, where several of the victims were taken after the shooting. What is the latest there, Gabby?
You know, Natalie, we're just arriving within the last 10 minutes, but we were able to gather a lot of information. We're outside of Northwestern Hospital here, and as Nate most likely mentioned, 2 males and 2 females lost their lives as a result of this mass shooting. And according to family members here at Northwestern Hospital, it was a daughter and a niece that was very loved. 26-year-old Taylor Walker. I believe we have a picture that we can bring up of her that her aunt was able to share of us that lost her life. She went to Mello Buckzz release party, a fan group that her family told us is really like a family, that fan group. Taylor was one of the women who lost her life after this release party. Her family, they got the call around 11:30, and they haven't left Northwestern yet. They chose not to talk on camera.
The other 3 victims has not been identified, but may all 4 rest in peace and love condolences to their families. Now, out of the 19 people shot, one of them is a well-known rapper and affiliate to Chief Keef and G Herbo, Doo-Wop. He was seen being carried to try to get help as he was shot in the leg, and as of now, he survived. Thank God. Now, some people saying the reason Drills was dissed so much the day he lost his life allegedly trying to do a drill was because his neighborhood was allegedly responsible for the demise of a young man named Vontae, was allegedly responsible for the demise of a young man named El Peasy. But as of now, that's just rumors. But there you have it, fam. Lives lost, a drive-by, allegedly due to dissing. Remind you how quick things can turn into these streets, especially.
That is crazy. Crazy at its finest. What the hell?